I'm in my zone, I'm feeling it. Stop blowing my buzz, quit killing it. So buy another round and try to shut us down about an hour ago, but we still in this.
So what's happening, people? It's Fox back with another video. If you are new around here, why not subscribe and follow at FoxyGames_UK for your regular source of aggregate news, rumour and live video game discussion. So it's certainly been a bit of a slow news week, though I did manage to source one or two items that may be of interest to you. Of course, I'll give my 2 cents in the latter half of this video, as always. But anyways, courtesy of GearNuke.com, it's been an amazing turnaround this generation for Sony with the PS4 and its continued success. But of course, let's not forget last generation with the PS3 and the launch blunders and overpricing was described by Shuhei Yoshida, Sony's president of worldwide Sony Interactive Studios, as a horrifying moment for Sony, and they actually wish that they had more success in multiplayer games. Here's the full story. So Shuhei Yoshida, president of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, was recently in attendance for Develop Brighton, where he discussed his work at PlayStation and shared views on the current gaming generation. Now, Yoshida praised the work of Ken Kutaragi, who Sony dubbed as the father of PlayStation. Here's a quote. "He's always at least 5 years ahead of time. We wish we were a little bit closer with our time, and we consider ourselves lucky for having really first two produced credit on the Crash Bandicoot and Gran Turismo games." Now, the Matrix DVD was the biggest launch title on PS2, and he went on to say that The Last Guardian is run at around 10 to 15 frames per second on PS3, and he calls the PS3 reveal, the launch price and everything else a horrifying moment. He's happy with the success of single player games, citing God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn as brilliant, but says that he wishes that the company had more success with the multiplayer side. But he was proud to see that game company who developed Journey for the PS3 and seen it sweep all the industry awards. He considers remasters and remakes as great, but says that they don't speak much for how games have progressed. Here's a quote. "I'd really like to see interactivity more and more complex. I'm interested in the advancement of artificial intelligence to make characters more complex, to improve interactions with players. Now it'll be interesting to see what kind of projects are released in the future under the direction of Shuhei Yoshida as the head of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios." Now look, in my opinion, PS3 was a launch blunder, but what does it tell you when, even with a horrific launch, that the PS3 still managed to roughly finish neck and neck with the Xbox 360? That just speaks to the sheer volume and quality of the first party studio output, because let's face it, multiplayer and third party really suffered compared, at least comparatively, to the 360 on the PlayStation 3. We all know the ins and outs of the difficult to code for hardware. Developers were very vocal at the time. You know, often that you find the PS3 version with the sub HD level of resolution, often 640p for many games, whereas the 360 was pushing 720p. You know, the odd games that Sony actually produced actually ran at 720 and 1080p, but when it's in your own hands and out of the hands of a third party, you know, you can afford to make cutbacks to ensure that you hit that target or baseline resolution. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinion on that one. And in other news, just how long is the back and forth between Sony, Nintendo and Microsoft going to go until really, or for Sony to reluctantly fold to the media, the public pressure really to allow cross play? Yes, that old chestnut, it just won't go away. Seems neither Microsoft nor Sony are willing to let this one die. Here's the full story. Now, one of the most hot button topics at E3, and continues to be a hot topic really if you've been on social media recently, was cross-play. Nintendo and Microsoft allow it, Sony doesn't, well, at least not together in the console sphere. Now, in a recent investor call, Nintendo reiterated its desire to help third-party publishers incorporate crossplay into their Nintendo Switch games. And of course, you've got the likes of Mike Ybarra saying that he wants every Windows 10 PC game and every Xbox game to be crossplay going forward. Now, speaking to investors at a shareholders meeting, Nintendo's executive officer Susumu Tanaka discussed the company stance towards the functionality going forward, noting that it is something they would continue to help developers implement whenever they want it in their games. Here's a quote. Crossplay basically comes about from conversations between publishers and platform holders. We're inclined to do what we can to help publishers incorporate crossplay when that is what they want. The other parties involved also have a say in whether we are able to reach this outcome or not, so we will continue to discuss it with them. And we embrace working with a developer and enabling them to bring their vision to life. And whether that's Fortnite, whether that's a number of other games that have crossplay or on another console, from a developer standpoint, that's what we want, and we work hard with them to bring that to life. Rajay Fils-Aimé there. So Nintendo on their part seem to be all on board with allowing this feature, of course, as they note. Though they never name anyone, there might be other parties or companies that might not be so willing to implement the functionality, in which case there isn't anything Nintendo themselves can do about it. But as far as they are concerned, they won't stand in the way of cross-play, which is good because cross-platform play and progression will be the future, and it's good to see that for once they've embraced a forward-looking trend. Interesting that Nintendo and Microsoft have found a common ground in crossplay. The most unlikely alliance really, or partnership or allegiance is really starting to form, and Sony, well, Sony will need to ensure they stay on the right side of history on this one and really ensure that history does not remember them as the bad guy in this regard. Even during this month's Inside Xbox, which aired just yesterday, you may have noticed the subtle jab at Sony when the presenter said, or one of the presenters said, "I can't wait to play Rocket League with my Nintendo Switch buddies," as he announced it as an addition to Microsoft's Game Pass subscription service. So the crossplay fiasco continues, but do let us know your thoughts and opinions on these two news stories, because that unfortunately brings us to the end of another video. But let's continue the discussion in the video comments. And for more PS4, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch news, subscribe to Foxy Games UK, hit the notification bell so you never miss content, and remember to thumbs up if you like the video, and also help us reach more like-minded gamers simply by sharing this video. For just £1, $1 or €1 or equivalent, consider supporting the Foxy Games UK Patreon and help us grow. You'll find the link in this video's description. Thanks for your kind support. So, sorry the news wasn't really overwhelmingly substantial or exciting, but it was either that or no video at all, and I really wanted to put something out there because I am trying to increase productivity on the channel, but I found those two news pieces just worthy enough to dedicate the 8 or 9 minutes or so to put this video out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, always remember, play games, not corporations. Thanks for watching.